In 1907, a Belgian chemist named Leo Baekeland invented a material to replace ivory. It was marketed with a promise, save the elephants. The material was a substitute, a miracle, permanent, hygienic, cheap. By 2024, that same material was found in human blood, in the rain, in the deepest ocean trench, and wrapped a disposable sandwich, foreshadowing the central irony. The case file is open. How did a conservation tool become a global pollutant? The first piece of evidence is Park's sign. Alexander Parkes unveiled it in London in 1862, a semi-synthetic polymer. It could imitate ivory, tortoiseshell wood. The goal was explicit: replace natural materials that were becoming scarce. Billiard balls, for instance, had been carved from elephant tusks. A single tusk yielded only a few balls. Parksine could be molded into perfect spheres endlessly. John Wesley Hyatt followed with celluloid in 1869, then Bakeland's Bakelite in 1907. It replaced shellac, a resin scraped from lac beetles, thousands of them per pound, used to insulate electrical wires and make records. The Bakelite comb was not a cheap trinket, it was an act of conservation. The advertisement copy said it plainly: a substitute that saves wildlife. The material was a success story. The permanent nature of it was the selling point. That permanent is now the central anomaly in this case. Then the war rewrote its purpose. Between 1939 and 1945, plastic production in the United States increased by over 300%. Nylon, invented by Wallace Carruthers at DuPont in 1935, replaced silk in parachutes. Plexiglass, a clear acrylic, formed bomber noses and fighter canopies. Polyethylene insulated radar cables. The material that had saved elephants now equipped armies. It was a strategic asset. The factories could not stop when the war ended. They pivoted. The same machines that extruded plastic for war now extruded plastic for the home. The permanent material was about to become disposable. 1955, Life magazine runs a cover story titled "Throwaway Living." A family is pictured tossing plates, cups, cutlery into the air, all plastic, all meant to be used once and discarded. The caption celebrates the end of washing dishes. The same year, Tupperware home parties began, teaching American women to seal food in durable plastic containers. But the real shift was packaging. Polyethylene bags, polystyrene clamshells, vinyl wrap. The material engineered to last a century was now wrapped around a sandwich that would be eaten in 3 minutes. The contradiction went unexamined. Nobody at the time filed it as evidence. The case was building silently. The first witnesses were birds. Albatross chicks on Midway Atoll in the Central Pacific. Their stomachs full, not of squid, but of cigarette lighters, bottle caps, and shards of colored plastic. The parrots mistook floating debris for food and carried it back to the nest. The chicks died of starvation, their guts blocked by indigestible objects. The images surfaced in the 1990s. Then in 1997, Captain Charles Moore was sailing from Hawaii to California. He chose a route few took, through the North Pacific Gyre. He saw what looked like a soupy cloud of confetti on the water. For days, he had discovered the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a swirling accumulation zone roughly 3 times the size of France. The plastic wasn't just litter. It was accumulating, fragmenting, but never disappearing. The permanence that once meant a comb could last a lifetime now meant a bottle cap could drift for centuries. The evidence got smaller. In 2004, marine scientist Richard Thompson and his team published a paper that gave the fragments a name: microplastics. Pieces smaller than 5 millimeters. They were in beach sand, in plankton samples, in the tissue of mussels. The material was not just an eyesore. It was entering the food web. By 2022, a team led by Heather Leslie detected microplastics in human blood for the first time. The particles were small enough to cross lung tissue, gut walls, possibly even the blood-brain barrier. They have since been found in human placentas, in breast milk, in the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench. The same polymer chains that made the Bakelite comb unbreakable are now inside us. The case file is no longer about an external environment, it's a body count. The full health implications are still unknown, that's the open chapter. Now return to the comb. The Bakelite comb from 1907. You can still hold one. It will have lost none of its integrity. A little surface wear perhaps, but the polymer backbone remains intact. Every piece of plastic ever made, unless burned at high temperature, still exists somewhere. In a landfill, in a riverbed, in the stomach of a sea turtle, in your own bloodstream. The material was designed to resist decay, to outlast natural substances. That was the innovation. That is the verdict. The same permanence that made plastic a miracle is now a planetary contamination event. We invented a material to last forever, then used it to wrap a sandwich we'll eat in 3 minutes. The case is not about littering. It is about a design flaw we mistook for a feature. The Bakelite comb in a museum and the plastic wrapper on the beach are the same material. They will both be here in some form long after we are gone. That is what we built. That is the evidence. The file remains open.